Welcome back, Arthur here with the second part of the map mapping tutorial. Today we are going to look at maybe finally the finishing touches of a map. I'll show you the other functionality of the Wurm generator here, and yeah, let's just dive right in. So last time we generated our own height map with like gimp and other tools, and we edited it in gimp or any other image editing program that you like. I went ahead and actually stretched my map a little bit more because, as you can see here from the shading, there is actually continental mass here, but that's actually underwater, which I only noticed afterwards. So I went ahead and stretched it a little bit out. As you can see, some details aren't even on the map, but don't matter because those will be underwater anyway. So now, last time I showed you how to drop the dirt and which settings you can take. Actually, we didn't talk too much about the settings you can do here, because if you hover over them, they are explained. But the thing is, you probably won't be able to work on your map for like 10 hours on end, I guess. So the situation may arise where you have to close down the map generator. And of course, you don't want to redo everything you did up to that point. Maybe you can't even remember what exactly you did. This is the first thing I want to show you today. I mean, again, last time it was all about just creating the height map and dropping some dirt, take a look in game, look at if it looks good and stuff like that. But with biomes, which is what we are doing today, you really want that other functionality, which is saving actions and loading actions. So unfortunately, if you import a height map, map generator always makes a new folder in case you finish that map. So as you saw here from me importing my height map here, actually pulled it from that folder. But yeah, I played around a little bit. But anyway, everything you do is saved in a actions file. So maybe it's not too bad if that is actually a new map name. But I can show you this actions test, something like that. Yeah, okay, I need to drop dirt, right? Let's drop dirt. Like that. So now I update my map name. Okay, so as you can see, nothing much happened here, but maybe I decide, okay, so I want my max dirt height at 2,400 or so, and my water's a little bit low. Would need to do a base jump to reach the ocean, so I'm gonna put it to 130.75, updated water, something like this, right? Or maybe I am playing around with the landslide option or with the cliff ratio here, just to find my settings. Maybe I want to draw some rivers in there, just so we talked about it and you know how to use the tool. Just put a tick mark here and paint rivers, and then you can right click, drag across the map, and then once you're done, you click generate rivers, and then the tool makes a river out of your drawing. There you go. That's your river. Okay, so you worked with the map and you're pretty happy how it looks, and now the tool forgets everything except you say save actions, and then it opens the map folder where it's in, suggests this file name, and you can just save it. And next time we come back, we can just close that down, open back up, import the height map from action test, because that's what we called it. You see there's also the river. And yeah, now we can say actions, load actions, go to actions test and load those actions, and everything will be reapplied here, which is really nice. Of course, right now we didn't do much except dropping dirt, updating the water, and then again changing the dirt drop height. And this is what it does, and it does all these actions diligently. You can also look at those files. So yeah, this is the map actions file here for that map. And as you can see, it just lists what it does. Actually, this here is the number or the name of the map it does, but it's just a little bit weirdness, and no problem there. And yeah, here you can see this is the dropping the dirt after making the river. So little height difference here. And here you can also see the lowered dirt max height, which we lowered to 2400. So every action you take is stored in this file. So if we go and just place a single biome here, just to show. We've got sand now. And if we say actions, oh yeah, save actions. And of course, reopened the program, so new map name. Okay, but I saved it inside the actions test that we saved before closing it down. And you can see here all the settings it took to place that sand biome, which you can actually also manually enter and change here. Okay, so today's goal is, for me at least, is to generate a nice biome map, and maybe also an ore map, and then let's see how we want to do that. Okay, so I want to start from scratch here. So I'm going to close it down. Ah, that's the one that's not stretched. But at least you can see it now. That's what it was looking like before. I meant to take this height map. Yep. Okay. So I'm gonna load actions, and any errors whatsoever, ignore them. Okay, so this is my finished map here. And as you can see, I already worked a little bit with sand, and it also placed multiple sand biomes here. I don't think anything would happen if I hit add biome now. Let's see if it finds another piece of coast where it can put sand. Yeah, got a little bit thicker. You can undo the last, but it's only one, and you saw that only this little piece here got edited. And that's why with biomes, it's really important that you that you work with what you have and save your actions diligently and load your actions diligently. So let's see here. We can reload that. Because you can also like reset your biome progress if you just hit drop dirt. Because dropping dirt should reset what biomes you've placed. But especially if you want to go back just by one, that is a little bit annoying. Okay, so I'm pretty content with how the coasts are looking for this map at this point in time. I just maybe want to add a little bit of sand here and on this little rocky island. And I also want to make a relatively large desert here. So this is the goal. So I'm gonna look into the sand biome here, and we are going to hit the paint mode. And now if you left click somewhere on the map, it's gonna try and place a sand biome there. And as you can see, it might not be very successful, but sometimes it finds a way and sometimes rather not. And this is because of the settings here. Like the biome says, okay, that's pretty self-explanatory. This is basically brush size. The density is, as it says, higher equals more sparse biome. Because if you're not in paint mode, you see here it has a seed count, so it tries to place 200 sand biomes, basically, and just goes across the map randomly and tries to places them. But if you paint it, that is not available. Then you have got the min height and the max height, and this is a nice little setting. So basically, this says, hey, if you go here onto this mountain and try to place a sand biome, it won't work, because if you right click and make a little red dot, it says here, this mountain has a height of 3,678. But you allow only 100 and 100, so that is weird in itself, because, you know, that would be only at one height. But as you can see here, this check mark is checked, which says around water. Our water height is 1,403 on this map. So I am allowed to place sand biomes at 1,503 and 1,303. And if we go here, this is 1,580. So this wouldn't place sand. And this is 1,484. So this should be able to place sand. So if I left click here, and you can see sand gets placed and also kind of stops here on this edge, because this is above 1,503. So this around water basically allows to place sand. It's around water. Well, so in the plus minus area of things. So if you tick that off, then you can say 0. And what was this piece of coast here? 1,506. So I'm gonna put it at 1,550. And then I click here. And it's a little bit finicky sometimes. And some biomes need that around water. Oh, right. That is min height, right? And the max height is 0. That won't work, I guess. Okay, try it again. So, and it placed the sand. So, and again, if you're feeling lucky, you see it did something, but it did not reverse everything I did. So yeah, for the desert, I just probably going to set this to 2,400, which was my earlier dirt height. And then I can just go in here and you see I can tap that sand in. And I feel it's pretty important that And you see sometimes it just doesn't place it. To like not overdo it, but also like just go across this, and you can see it has a naturally round shape, but it will stay similar in shape. And what I like to do is just leave the green spots in. So like sometimes maybe this is a lower elevation or it's more shady, this area. Of course, you alone decide how realistic your map should be. But yeah, so like it's if you think about this valley here, it's probably protected from the sun quite a lot, and maybe it gets some rain from the mountain. So this should stay green. And normally a player, maybe spawning in desert or wandering through the desert, also has something to explore like this. They say, oh, hey, okay, we've got a valley here in the mountain, and maybe we don't want to, don't left click drag in paint mode, you will paint the biome then. We can live here in this valley or whatever. Okay, but on the other end, if you put green patches in a desert, that isn't probably very realistic. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the next piece, which is step. And then I just go over to my green spots. I'm fine with green spots being left over here. Some grass is allowed. All right. So you see that the placement is also a little bit red. This looks like a cookie. The placement itself is a little bit random. So I've clicked and the biome appeared like to the top left or something like that. This is the thanks to the randomize and the growth settings here. So this this random growth just means, okay, you clicked and you set the biome size as 50 tiles to the left and to the right and north and south. But it can randomly grow into other directions, which causes it to be like a little bit more not like circular around. And if you can set this to some other types, and I think you can even make it square. Okay. Then another biome that we kind of need. We can go on with tundra. That's okay. So that would be the north of my map. And if I'm not sure where to place it, I just up the height here, although that is fine, I guess. And then you have to take care though, because if I do add biome, you see there is now multiple tundras on my map. And if I undo last, it doesn't really work. But for my map, there's a weather system involved. So I'm just gonna go a little bit higher on the biome size and then go back into paint mode. And then I'll place some large tundras here, like this. And of course, at the seam of the tundra, we need some step, because tundra is not like existing on the spot, right? So it's always going from green grass easing into the tundra region. Nowhere in the world you take one step and you are immediately into the frozen wasteland. So I'm gonna just put a little step around this here. All right, so looks like this, like neatly wedged in. Sure, I do now have the tundras here and here, but this is just to show you how to work with that tool, I guess. And next up is snow. Snow is a little bit finicky because you cannot put snow on rock. You have to put it on grass, and sometimes it just ignores the settings here because this spot right here has a height of 2500 and the max height is 2900. And yet if I left click here, it will paint it there. And if I click here, it's a little bit out of order, so to say. It's not really following the mouse pointer there. And this is a little bit annoying, but you can just multiply, click multiple times, and then everything is fine. You can also just use add biome, whether you have the paint mode active or not. It will add snow, but you see, it will also add snow to the coast, which is so the min height here really needs to be upped. So in this case, I'm gonna put it to 2000. And now you can see it really only adds snow in two places where the height is around 2000, which is also up here. But that's okay, because you can just say, aha, apparently this place was high enough, so it's cold enough. But I'm gonna set this to 2350 or something like that and see how it reacts. And the higher you take the min height, the closer the snow will probably adhere to existing rocks or mountains here. This is 1838, so I don't really know why it landed here, but that's okay. And I think now you know why it's important to like save your actions, because if something gets placed where you don't want it, you cannot undo it, then that's that. So somewhere here, here was the correct height zone, and then it just randomly grew. So we could set this to 0 all the board across the board again, and this should be now maybe 0 is actually hello. I'm not finding spots now to place snow. Did I randomize it? Then it works. Okay. Yeah, you have to kind of have to play with it a little bit. Maybe 10% in each direction wasn't big enough. But yeah. Right. Let's see. Anything else? I am ignoring trees and bushes at the moment. You can place grass here, which gives it a random flower type. But dropping the dirt normally is enough, because if we add biome now, you see now this is then special grass, which is really not very distinguishable from the other normal grass. So yeah, that. Gravel. Gravel is that like road type, so I don't really place those. And then once I'm happy with my biomes, I'm gonna export my actions. I'm gonna export it to this new map file just so we can see. And then this is what I keep working with. So we close that down and go import our height map. And then I'm gonna go get my actions. And then you can watch the map unfold. So yeah, basically make yourselves like steps or chapters where you save your actions. You don't necessarily have to save your actions on any after every step. But the more you save, the better. But I tend to go with it a little bit like, okay, I'll just do like all the biomes, and if I'm not happy, I'm just gonna drop dirt on it again. But or close it down, and try again. And once I'm happy with the biomes, I just save my actions and then yeah, load it up and then move on with the next step, which I'll show you in a minute here, which will be trees. And then after that, ores. But yeah, same thing also here. Now look at my desert. The desert was closed, a closed carpet of sand, basically. And now after loading the actions, you can see that the desert is now green. Because every biome placement action is actually random. Yeah, because that's the setting. And if you load your actions, it might happen that that it doesn't look like it looked when you placed everything, but it's only small deviations and it can be fixed, or you can leave it like it when you say, oh, okay, this random deviation works for me, then you can just leave it. But yeah, be warned, when you load your actions, your biomes might not exactly look like you did them before. Okay, so let's say you are happy with your map, then the next thing I'd like to do is doing plans. And I'll just go from and resources, and just go from top to bottom, and then I just add biome because it's a resource. I don't need to hand place them. So for the biomes, I take a lot of care to hand place them, do them like I envision my world. But for the resources, I'll just leave it up to the world generator to do it. So this is clay. Did it place any clay? Yeah, down here and down here, because clay has a around water setting here. You can see that it is really adhering to that setting, and our water's here, and this is 15, 13, which is not really reachable here. So I'm just gonna put it to 100, 100. These clay zones can stay. That's fine. I just want to have a couple more, so maybe reduce the number for seed count and then try again. And you see here now this clay popped up, this. You can also eradicate the old height, so you could say min height around water is 200 and max height is 250. That way this is 1451, so there is a chance that a clay biome spawns there, right? See, there's some more clay now. And then just go across, maybe, so to speak, in layers. Because every time you keep that as the original 20, the old height level can get some new clay as well. But if you follow that around, so now we could do 500 and 750, then it would place some clay around up here, maybe. Yeah, so height, technically spoken, you can view it on the topo map maybe. Each line is the next lower 100. So this 1731, and this is 15991, and you see 1627. So this is for 1650 maybe. Yeah. So this is the height line for that, and each line represents the height of 100 dirt, basically. Maybe here you can see it good. It's 3165. This is to the 3000. So it's not quite 100, I guess. Maybe it's 150 or 200. Could be 200. But it gives you a representation of your height. And this is, although it's all 2D, you have to kind of think in 3D and just layer your clay wherever you want it. If you say clay can only exist around water, that's totally fine. Okay, ill. Okay, this is what I wanted to look at. Okay, after placing the clay, just keep it there wherever. But I want to, most of the time, want to make sure that there is clay around the world readily available, so people can also found a city maybe up in the mountains and not have to wander back down to sea level to get their clay. And this spot and this spot here is something I want to have people settle in on. So for these spots, I'm just gonna go into paint mode and paint a couple clay biomes in there. Can also paint it on snow, no matter. So now if somebody wants to live here or maybe here, although that would be a lot of work, but there's clay there for them if they want it. Okay, so next up would be lava, which I just keep to random placement, and I hit add biome until I see it. The problem with lava is it's only one tile. But it should be placed somewhere. Oh, look, there's some lava. I don't know up there. I don't know if lava is important for Wurm. I mean, you can use it to discard of items, I guess. But just so we have it. So then the marsh biomes. Again, this is around water, and I'm just gonna put it to 200 around water, I guess. And also keep in mind this this around water is a offset, just as it says here. So if you put this to around water and set it to 200, it could also go below water. So this if this is null, this will be around the water. Also, we've got error here. Ah, well, I tried to place a biome outside of the map. Things can happen. Okay. Okay, so I have trouble identifying the color of marsh here, but it is placing marsh biomes indeed. And for a marsh, it is okay if it is near water. So I'm just gonna leave it out of paint mode and then just add some more marsh here with the current settings. Now this desert has marsh in it, but that is not a problem. I can paint over it again. So maybe your approach could also be to first place the small biomes and later paint over with the big biomes. But I tend to do it this way, and if something happens, I can just paint over it. But also it will give a little bit of true randomness to the map, so that's fine with me. I'll just check the map. We do have marsh. One could now go ahead and place marsh on all the coastlines here, but I'll tend to keep it to small biomes. Of course, we will need kelp. Kelp only grows underwater, so I'm gonna give it a little bit more headroom here. Although maybe only 50 for time being, and then I'll try with quite a lot of biome counts, because I have rock around here most of the time. We can try place some kelp. But maybe there is kelp. You can also view biomes. But I think kelp is green. Maybe I have to give it more room. So maybe 250. My coastline is pretty steep, as you can see here. This is all rock. So kelp kinda doesn't have really a chance to grow, except maybe here. There plays a little bit of kelp. So for there as well. For me, maybe. Yep, there it is. This would be a resource I would have to place by hand. So that can happen depending on your height map settings, that you really need to hand place some resources. All right, moss again is something that is placed all above water. So I'll just add the biome and don't even look at it. I mean, I saw these two pop up, but I just send it. Mycelium, I'll leave that to the Levila priests, but we will need some peat, and then I'll just add biome. Take a look where peat is. That is fine, but I also want to add it to my little area where I want people to live, and it's not the most important resource, but you know, it's a nice fuel to have if you don't have tar. Which should be around here somewhere. Ah, yeah, right there, tar. Again, reed. Now reed. Again, I've got a sharp coastline, so I'm gonna give it a little bit more room to exist. Again, reed is something you probably cannot differentiate, so I'm just gonna add, maybe also paint mode it in to see. This is 1/413. It should have some reed, though biome size again. Oh, well, that was min height. Yep. There. Okay, so this is reed. So now reeds can exist. And again, I'm just gonna add biome, and you can see, okay, some reed got placed far up because maybe that max height was a little bit over. But then again, I can allow me this kind of placement because I can just repaint with sand and everything will be fine. So for this map, it would be probably the smart approach to first go with your resource biomes and then draw over. Okay, a little bit of tar. You can see here tar again has a small biome size, but a high seed count, and also can be placed across all the map. I saw some tar popping up, so I know, okay, there's tar on the map. Even here and here, and also here. Don't want to make it too perfect paradise. People still have to work for resource. And for trees, I'm just gonna do like one pass and see where it places them. If it places them, trees are dark green in color, so there, that might be apple trees. Unfortunately, you cannot click and see. So I'm just gonna add some more. Just check if they appeared. Yeah, okay. So there's apple trees. Birch only has a seed count of 30, but it has a very big biome size. So if I add biome here, see, this is all birch forests now. And for trees, the thing with the undo last is that works better than with the biomes. So again, at this point, if you're done with the normal biomes, you should save your actions and then move on to trees. But here it works a little bit better reliably if you want to get rid of old biomes. So here, this is a little bit too high for me. So I've changed the biome size to around 10 and then check again. This is for me a considerable amount of birch here. Maybe go one more pass. That is okay, but you have to keep thinking about it. There's like 15 or 10 different tree types. So you cannot have these massive cedar woods here, but you can see here cedar has its own height setting here. So there's some cedar and something was over here. So I'm gonna add once more. There, popped up there. Okay, I'm content. Okay, so cherry trees again. I didn't see them pop up here. Okay, now I saw. But fruit trees tend to spread like hell. So what you could do is also just hit add biome once and leave it as as it is, and then hopefully there's a cherry tree somewhere, or you can go put the map files into your server, test around, and if you cannot find a cherry tree, maybe just place them per wand or something like that. So chestnut is special because it tends to create like huge ass woods, and I don't know why. So I'm gonna put the biome size a little bit down to maybe to 30 or so. And then we've got a huge chestnut forest here, and that's that. Now fir is very resilient, and as you can see, it has a min height setting of 0 around water. So fir can be anywhere, but I want it to be, or was that pine? There's also pine, but you see pine has the same settings. So I want my firs to be above 1,700 in height. So only like at the mountains. And this is, oh, that's 2,700 though. I mean, it listened. So, but because the map is generally pretty hilly, maybe I'm gonna up this a little bit more. Yep, so see now it sticks close to mountains. Still a little bit big in biome size, but you can always undo and add back. So trees are very, very easy to manage in placing biomes. And maybe also what I could have done with the cherry trees, but I can do with the lemons. If you don't see them pop up, you can just hit undo last, add biome, undo last, add biome. Aha, okay, so see, I saw some popping up, and that's fine with me. Yeah, and then just go across the trees that you want to have on your map, and yeah, just place them around, play with it, see how you like them, and don't forget to go over the bushes and for example, the grape. Grape is a little bit special because it tends to get placed around the entire map, but take a look because grapes in the north are, I think, white grapes, and in the south is red grapes, or it might be the other way around. but do take care that you have some grapes on both north and south of your map, just because you know, variety of wine, I guess. All right, but this is been biomes. Again, this is not how to make a beautiful map, just showing you how to do it. But I think, although it's been very chaotic, it has kind of a character to it. But you yourself, you decide how meticulously you paint these biomes on your map. Okay, so again, now would be a good time to save actions. And as a final thing, we want to look at ores. So there is no cave map at the beginning, so I'm just gonna generate ores. It will automatically show you the cave map of your map. And you can see now, if we view the map, there's this little piece of grass here, but it has no cave. So what's gray is rock, and everything that's blue is water. So you know where mines can actually be opened. I mean, if somebody would take a lot of cement and raise that island up, then they could also open a mine, and there will be resources there. But yeah, water is the limiting factor here. So I don't know what to tell you about the ores. These are the vanilla ore amounts. So like 1% of all tiles you have on your map will be iron. And you also can see that I can hit generate ores as often as I want. It will always generate about the same layout. But if you change like the ore iron to 2%, you see here it will take 1% from the rock and it'll add iron to the cave map here. But 1% is actually pretty okay. You can see there's a lot of iron. Just don't forget to place your adamantine down. I think the adamantine was 0.02 and glimmer 0.01, and generate those ores. I saw some pop up. But yeah, you can never be too sure. So for ores, I'll show you another trick in a minute. But for the time being, I am now again content. You can also save that action if you want to. Let's maybe put it to the desktop so we can just quickly look at it. Well, there. And as you can see, there's really everything again in here. So technically you could also just go into this unknown biome null. You can go into this file and delete lines or even add lines if you want to, and it would just do it. And you can see here the lots of generating of ores. I don't know why there's I know why there's grapes, because I left clicked on the cave map. But yeah, so everything is here, and although recreation will look a little bit different than what you had originally placed, it's always kinda in the region where you placed everything down. Okay, so I'm gonna save the map files now. And there's another tool for Wurm, which is also called Map Viewer, I think, which is, yeah. But I mean, this tool, Map Viewer, it's not a map viewer that creates these Google Maps kinds of things for your server. It's a one where you can just open your map folder and then go in there. So I have the map here that we just generated Unfortunately, you cannot put your file path in here, but I think you can drag and drop. So I'm gonna put the top layer. Unfortunately, no. Oh well, maybe I can, yeah, okay, this looks good. And then I think it doesn't matter, but I like to click on top layer. Yeah, that is our map. And now you can view the cave map. And that is a problem. My cave is empty. Well, view cave. Okay. Maybe I should also save the images, but doesn't matter too much. And save my map files once more. Is there more arrows? No, it was just for that one biome that got somehow placed outside. Okay, let me open that. That is actually not the map we were working on, interestingly, but I can move one folder up. Good lord, 4055 is the ending. So this one, this is the current folder where everything is happening. So maybe we've got a little bit more luck here. Aha, okay. Good. So again, you can see your ore map here. Make sure it's not leaked. And now we can just get rid of everything that we don't want to see. And then you can see or check if you have glimmer steel or adamantine really in there. If you don't have any glimmer steel or adamantine in there, you might go back, load your map up, or maybe keep your map viewer or map generator open, and then just add some more. Also nice little Orion spelled here. But yeah, generally spoken, I've got glimmer steel and adamantine on my map. If this percentage is too much for you, because glimmer can be powerful, just lower the percentage in your generator. So, but just to go again here, these are the settings I mostly use, and this is your map. So I think if you go show mouse over, it actually also tells you what it is if you click it. See here, it says type adamantine vein, or you can also stay over it, and then you can see how much is in there. So yeah, this is creating a map for Wurm. So if you have any questions, post them under the video, and I'll try to help. But generally, this is the tool we have, and can only do your best and work with it. Okay. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.